Leon, I guess obviously closing out the regular season on the road at San Jose. Your quick thoughts on playing those guys? Seems like obviously that they've taken a big step up this year, even if there's not a ton of wins.
Yeah, and how good they're playing maybe hasn't shown up every night as far as getting the W's. Like you said, they've been competitive in every game. They beat Fresno by 15 at home and looked great doing it, and it was a dominant performance. And so, I'm worried about ourselves, obviously, and how we approach this game, and we need to approach it the right way because you're battling some different things too. It's an early start. You're battling the atmosphere, and there's a certain atmosphere at New Mexico and at San Diego State and UNLV and those, and then there's other ones that can be just as difficult that are the opposite end of it, and that's what we face, with San Jose. And that's hard sometimes to get the blood going. It's easy to play hard when there's 14,000 fans yelling at you. Not easy, but it's a different deal. So we better be ready to do it, and I hope our guys will be.
You learn, like you mentioned, those different atmospheres. Air Force,
Yeah.
one of those ones where you have to create your own momentum, really.
You do, and it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy. It's a lot harder than you think, and but I like the way we're playing. I like the things the guys are doing together. And, so we'll embrace it and we'll come out and play hard.
Obviously, when we're talking scenarios, everyone's talking about the tournament. You kind of know that's what you have to do is 3 days down there. How do you keep the guys kind of not looking ahead to the tournament going into Saturday?
We haven't. I mean, this is almost feels like part of the tournament because it's so close to it. And it's just, it's the last regular season game. And so, we've been having our guys have done a nice job lately of just focus on what we can do and control what we can control. And we've done a nice job of improving. So that's the focus. And, I know there is human nature to look at that tournament and look ahead. And probably everybody in the league's doing it because it's so wide open. But we want to get better. We want to play a great game on Saturday.
You guys, talking with Coach Anderson last week, now that James is back in the lineup, you guys are pretty healthy overall. So what is this last opportunity? You even start a different starting lineup on senior night.
Yeah.
Is this one last opportunity to make sure that everything's fine-tuned before you go into the Mountain West Conference tournament maybe?
Yeah, and I think it does help us because of our depth. And, when you go on a road in a situation like this, it's, the teams that have more depth and can play more guys maybe survive a game like this a little bit better because those guys, they're always hungry to play or should always be hungry to play. And so, hopefully our bench can help us through, maybe some lulls in the game. And, we can, I've been preaching to our guys about we need to squeeze out those last percentages. If they'll believe me and if they'll understand this, that we can get a lot better. I don't care if it is March 5th. Let's get 60% better. Then what happens? Then we're off the charts good. So don't be limited by what we're thinking, and don't be thinking, we can't get this much better. I mean, these are the days. This is what you play for. This is the fun of it. And let's go out. Let's go have a good.
Paris, how he's played these last couple games, and how important that's been, and I guess how much you've seen him progress these last couple weeks when you hope he would.
Yeah, that's huge because I think there's a game that people play. Whenever someone says point guard of the future, that's what we're counting on, and that's important. And he's got to make steps, and he's got to keep getting better for him to be that. So, we're relying on him now. He's helping us now, and we got big plans for him, coming in the future. So we need him to keep getting better. He's just a young kid too, so I think he's going to continue to grow.
He's playing within himself a little bit. Seems like not making as many mistakes, and when he's taking the ball to the rim, doing a lot better job of that too. It seems like.
Yeah, he's doing. He's just seems like he's taking a step in everything he does. He's becoming a better defender. He's understanding what we're doing, what we're trying to do, and the thing about Paris, he always does it with a little flair also.
A lot of people have asked, James about it, asking you about it. Just he's obviously a guy who has pro potential and stuff. And before the season, we talked a lot about about James, about how he handled it, before the season.
Yeah.
But how have you seen him kind of handle it during the year?
He's just focused on this team, and they all are right now, and everybody's in a good place, and so that's where we're at, and that's what we're focused on.
Does that step up during Mountain West tournament and stuff? Is there more chances for clinger-ons and people like that to try to get to him this time of year?
I don't know. I think it might be the opposite in the fact that, it steps up maybe at the end of the year, but it's also, we're a tighter group right now than we've ever been.
Do
You-
have to,
when-
did you spend a little bit of time to educate James on some of the things that how to take care of that? You know, he's
Yeah.
saying today that he's got over 400 text messages on his phone. Some of them, you know, he doesn't know who the hell the people are.
Yeah.
But you have to educate
Yeah,
players.
it takes a while to, you know, make sure they understand what's going on and try to help them through the process because we want the best for them, you know, and we're going to help them try to find what's going to be best for them. And it can be cloudy and it can be confusing if you don't have some people to help you. And if you're not listening to the right voices.
Do you think, you know, there's that new NCAA rule, you know, that lets guys, you know,
Yeah.
test the waters a little better? It
I
seems
hope
like that it's very
I hope-
beneficial for a guy like
Yeah, I
James.
hope it does, and I hope that works out the way it's intended to. Nice.